Backhand index pointing right, he sees your pain, Jesus Christ motivation message. He sees your pain, is a message of deep understanding and quiet strength. It means that even when no one around you truly understands what you're going through, even when your struggles are hidden, your pain is not invisible. The teachings of Jesus Christ remind us that not all struggles are loud. Some of the hardest battles happen inside: stress, fear, disappointment, loneliness, and people around you may never fully see them. But this message says, backhand index pointing right, your pain is seen. My dear friends, many times you feel like no one cares. No one notices your effort. No one understands your situation. And that hurts. Because you are trying. You are pushing. You are holding on. Backhand index pointing right, but silently. He sees your pain at a deeper level means. Backhand index pointing right, your struggle is real. Backhand index pointing right, your effort matters. Backhand index pointing right, your feelings are valid. Even if no one else recognizes it. This message is not about removing all your problems instantly. Backhand index pointing right, it is about reminding you that your pain has meaning and is not ignored. And this changes your mindset. You stop feeling completely alone. You stop thinking your struggle is pointless. Instead, backhand index pointing right, you find strength to keep going. Because now, you believe. Backhand index pointing right, what I am going through matters. My dear friends, this belief gives you emotional strength. You don't give up easily. You don't break under pressure. You keep moving forward, even in silence. At the same time, the message of Jesus Christ reminds you that understanding comes before change. Backhand index pointing right, your pain is acknowledged before it is transformed. So if you feel tired, if you feel unseen, if you feel like no one understands, pause and remember. Backhand index pointing right, you are not invisible. Backhand index pointing right, your struggle is not ignored. Backhand index pointing right, your journey has purpose. And when you truly understand, he sees your pain. You don't feel completely alone anymore. You find the strength to continue, to endure, and to move forward, knowing that even in your hardest moments, you're. As you go deeper into this message, you begin to understand something even more powerful. He sees your pain is not just about being noticed, it is about being strengthened through what you are going through. The teachings of Jesus Christ remind us that pain is not always the end of your story, it is often part of your growth. You may feel tired. You may feel like giving up. But you are still here. Backhand index pointing right, that means something inside you is strong. My dear friends, this is where your perspective begins to change. Instead of asking, why am I going through this? You begin to understand, this is shaping me. He sees your pain at this stage means your struggle is not wasted. Every challenge is building your strength. Every difficulty is teaching you patience. Every setback is making you wiser. And this is powerful. Because now, your pain is not just something you suffer. Backhand index pointing right, it becomes something that transforms you. You start becoming stronger mentally. You start handling pressure better. You start understanding yourself more deeply. Even if no one else notices your growth. Backhand index pointing right, you feel it. At the same time, the message of Jesus Christ reminds you that understanding your pain is the first step toward healing. Backhand index pointing right, nothing you go through is meaningless. So keep going. Stay strong. Don't give up. Because when you truly understand, he sees your pain. You don't feel broken by your struggles. You rise through them, becoming stronger, wiser, and more resilient with every challenge you face. As you continue in this message, you reach a deeper level. He sees your pain, becomes healing and quiet restoration. The teachings of Jesus Christ remind us that pain is not meant to stay forever, it is meant to pass through you and change you. You may still feel hurt. You may still carry some weight inside. But now, something is different. Backhand index pointing right, you are not stuck in it anymore. My dear friends, this is where healing begins. Not suddenly. Not all at once. Backhand index pointing right, but slowly. You start letting go of what hurt you. You start releasing what held you down. You start breathing again without that same heaviness. He sees your pain at this stage means your pain is not permanent. It is a season. Not your identity. And this realization is powerful. Because now, backhand index pointing right, you begin to move forward. You don't stay trapped in past struggles. You don't keep reliving the same hurt. Instead, backhand index pointing right, you grow beyond it. You become emotionally stronger. You become mentally clearer. You become more peaceful inside. And slowly, your life begins to feel lighter. At the same time, the message of Jesus Christ reminds you that healing takes time. Backhand index pointing right, but it always moves forward. So be patient with yourself. Be kind to your journey. Keep going step by step. Because when you truly understand, He sees your pain. You don't stay broken forever. You heal, you grow, and you rise, moving forward with a stronger heart, a clearer mind, and a peace that comes from overcoming what once hurt you. As you move forward in this journey, you reach the most powerful stage. He sees your pain, becomes purpose and transformation. The teachings of Jesus Christ remind us that the pain you went through was not only for you, it also prepares you to help others. You are no longer just surviving your struggles. You are now understanding them. My dear friends, this is where your story changes. The same pain that once hurt you. Backhand index pointing right now gives you strength. The same struggle that once broke you. Backhand index pointing right now gives you wisdom. He sees your pain at this stage means your experience has value. You understand people better. You feel others' struggles more deeply. You know what it means to go through hard times. And this makes you stronger, not weaker. Because now, backhand index pointing right, you can lift others while standing strong yourself. You become a source of encouragement. You become a voice of hope. You become someone who understands, not judges. And this is powerful. Because your pain didn't end your journey. Backhand index pointing right, it gave it meaning. At the same time, the message of Jesus Christ reminds you that transformation is the final step of every struggle. Backhand index pointing right, what you go through can become something greater. So keep moving forward. Stay strong. Use your experience wisely. Because when you truly understand, He sees your pain. You don't just heal and move on. You turn your pain into purpose, becoming stronger, wiser, and a source of light for others who are still going through their struggles.